All right, everybody. Welcome to the Week 7 review show, Week 8 preview show. But first, before I talk about the Week 7 review show, I'm going to talk about a trade that I made today, and it was accepted between your commissioner, the Pork Chops, and the Chicago Turnips, whose team is run by my son. If you have any concerns about this trade not being above board, I do recommend that you come in contact with me. 5 minutes after the trade was accepted, a league member already did talk to me about it. But send me a text or an email, or you can use the message board on the league website. I will see it if you want to send me a private message. But I'm going to explain it here in the video so everybody knows why this trade was made and that I'm not, in fact, cheating. So there you go. All right, so the number one point is I needed a defense special teams unit, and I only have $5 left in my free agent auction budget. So I have to trade for a defense. I can't pick one up. I mean, I could use $1 to pick one up, but I would be better off trading for one, especially if I like it. All right, the defense that I chose to target was the Rams defense. I like the Rams. They scored over 20 points this past week, and they've had their bye week already, so I don't have to worry about dropping them again. I drafted the Rams. I dropped them during their bye week to make room, for another defense. I picked up the Bengals, I guess. And then I got outbid for them when I went to claim them again. The Turnips bid $10 on the Rams defense or whatever. And so they outbid me. But I like the Rams. I drafted them, and they're a good defense. So that's why I targeted them to trade for. The player I traded for is Travis Benjamin. Travis Benjamin is my 5th best wide receiver. I had to trade something to get the Rams. I had to give him something. He accepted the wide receiver. Travis Benjamin actually has been putting up points this year. He's a good player, and he helps the Turnips team. But, the Rams help me more. So this trade actually helps both teams. It's fair, and it's unbalanced, and that's how I feel. Spencer, aside from being my son, and so we get to talk about these things when we see each other every day. So I'm not trading with a division foe, right? He's in a different division. And he's also holding 2 defenses, the Broncos defense and the Rams. Both have had their bye already. So he's going to drop one. So this trade makes sense for him because now he gets value for it. And if he dropped them, I don't have enough free agent auction money, and I want the Rams. So that's why we trade for him. So that's why it makes sense for him to trade the Rams away. And it makes sense for me to target the Rams and to trade for them. Number 7, I could trade with Lance. Lance is holding an extra defense, the Jets, who've already had their bye. And I could trade for him, right? And I considered making an offer to Lance. But 2 problems with that. Lance is in my division, and it would probably cost more to trade him a wide receiver. You'd probably want somebody better than Travis Benjamin. I don't know. We didn't negotiate for that because the negotiations with my son went well. So there you go. The last point I want to make, actually 2 more points, but another point I want to make is I have not given up on the season. I am not just giving away players. I'm only 1 game away from a wild card spot, 2 games back from a playoff spot. I'm still in this to win. Besides, I want to avoid last place. So I'm making moves to help my team. The Rams certainly help my team. You can't argue that. I won despite getting negative points for my defense, but I would have had a much higher score if I was successful with the Rams, for instance, just as an example. And number two, this is not the first father-son trade this year. Another father-son trade happened where they exchanged quarterbacks. At least I'm not just trading a defense for a defense or anything like that. I'm trading for a position of need, and I'm dealing from a position of strength. I had 5 wide receivers. I gave them my worst one, and that's my defense. My explanation is longer than my videos have been the last few weeks, already 6 minutes. So I hope that settles it, but please, if you have any questions, send me a text or an email or a phone call. I've already explained it to the one person who protested the trade, who thought I was just giving up on the season. But I hope this explains it better for all of you. And if you felt like trading between a father and son is sketchy, you are not alone in those feelings. Just know that your commissioner is above board, and I want everyone to return next season knowing full well that I have not cheated. I haven't really helped Spencer at all. He outbid me for the Rams defense. I was bidding on him. He knew I wanted him back. Not that I told him. He's like he had Denver on a bye and wanted the best defense, so he bid $10. But I've wasted all my fab money, so I spent another minute explaining that. All right, now we don't want this to be a 20-minute video, so we'll go with the Week 7 preview. Your commissioner, the Pork Chop's got to win over his brother, over the hill. 30-point effort from Mike Evans. And I started with the Week 7 preview without talking about my picks. Last week, I went 4-2 with my picks. That makes me 26 correct on the season, 16 incorrect on the season. Back to the Pork Chops versus Over the Hill. Pork Chops win. Looney Tunes got the highest score of the week, beating Hot Air for the highest scoring matchup of the week. He had 2 empty roster spots. Congratulations to the Looney Tunes. He actually looks like a force to be reckoned with and could win the division. We'll see how the rest of the year plays out, but he's been fairly consistent the last 3 weeks. So I'm liking that. Team Aussie lost to Team Chin. Team Chin put in a 29-point performance before injuring himself, a season-ending injury. A tough loss for Chin, but good for him on getting the win, Team Chin. Chicago Turnips with a nice win over Cheeseburger Walrus, who got the low score of the week with 2 empty roster spots. So apparently, if you had 2 empty roster spots this week, you got the highest score of the week or the lowest score of the week. Izzy got a 38-point performance from Lamar Miller to win his matchup against Thunderclap, who got a 30-point performance from Jordan Reed, a waiver wire pickup, by the way. Good job, Thunderclap. But you faced the juggernaut this week. Devontae Freeman has a mediocre day, and Lamar Miller gets 35 points in the first half of that game. He was on pace to get 70 points, but they let up there. And the last matchup, Half Blind beating Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, you did not get the lowest score of the week, so there's still hope, buddy, that you could win matchups throughout the year. The season is half over. It's officially over the halfway mark. If you have a winning record, you're in the catbird seat for a playoff spot. Week 8 preview. The first matchup is your Pork Chops versus Fitzgerald. I'm choosing the Pork Chops to win, but this is actually a really close matchup. So we'll see what happens, but it's the loser is fighting for a tiara, and the winner is keeping playoff hopes alive. Thunderclap versus Cheeseburger Walrus. I'm choosing the Cheeseburger Walrus in this matchup. He's no longer suffering through bye week hell. So there you go. The next matchup is Chin versus Half Blind. I'm choosing Half Blind Chin just lost Arian Foster for the season. His team is still pretty good, and I think they're favored to win this game, but this is my upset special. Loser is fighting for a tiara. The next matchup is Looney Tunes versus Team Aussie. Nobody's been hotter, except for Team Izzy, who's undefeated. Nobody's been hotter than Looney Tunes the past few weeks. So I'm choosing Looney Tunes to win. The next one is Team Hot Air versus Chicago Turnips. I like Chicago Turnips in this matchup. I think because Team Izzy's undefeated, Chicago Turnips is not going to win the division, I don't believe, but he's going to be ranked number 4 as the first wildcard spot. That's what I think will happen. I think Chicago Turnips is going to lock up a wildcard spot. And the last but not least, it's over the hill facing Izzy the Juggernaut. Izzy's going to be 8-0. Good job, Izzy. And I think I kept this video under 12 minutes. Good luck to everybody in week 8. We're past the halfway mark. I hope you're having fun. Try to secure that last playoff spot. There's 6 spots. Everybody, good luck.